Welcome to another informative episode of your favorite program, The Voice of Eve. In this episode, we shall discuss the topic, Women Empowerment as a Tool for Family Financial Stability. I am your host, Flora Ungo Martins. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back.
Yeah, it's very good. They should be empowered because it helps a lot. They know what they want and why they want it and the reason why they are doing it.
Does it make them better mothers?
Yes, very, very better.
How?
As in, at least their kids will be happy, as in they will be able to take care of their kids, even to take care of their homes properly.
It's not a matter of choice. Allowing a wife to work is sometimes when the man is not capable to take care of the whole thing. They discuss and say, let me get you something doing to support the house. It depends on the understanding between the couple. I've seen a woman that worked before and the husband, I've never seen her salary or know how much they pay her. And every month she still jack the husband collects anything the man have for her for the month. And in some families, yes. In some families, I've seen where the woman single-handedly sponsored the whole thing even when the man lost his job.
Women, as we know, are also categorized as a vulnerable group in the society. Now, this has been partly blamed to the patriarchal nature of our societies, especially the African societies. Apart from this, as a woman, when you make a decision, do you feel a sense of empowerment? Empowerment simply means, or women empowerment simply means the opportunities, the ability of a woman to access opportunities without limitations or restrictions. This also includes actions which elevates the status of women. It can be education, training, or even something as much as knowledge, literacy. Now, how has this helped the society, especially the Nigerian society as a whole? Has it made it or has it made it better? This and many more questions we have to ask. Luckily for us, we have with us a very special guest in the studio that will discuss this and many more. She is Mrs. Helen Adeshola Onadipe. I hope I got your name.
You got it. You got
okay,
it.
You
Thank
are
you
welcome
so much.
to the studio.
Thank you so much. It's my pleasure.
It's good to have you here.
Thank you so much.
So now we all know women empowerment as a tool for family financial stability.
Yes.
Let's start with the very basic. What is women empowerment to you?
Well, to me, women empowerment is like you're having your freedom.
Yes.
To your financial status.
Yes.
And decide what you can buy with it.
Yes.
Okay. And be able to save money for yourself and be able to do things you're passionate about.
Okay.
That's what I would call women empowerment.
Okay, so we have the ability to do what we like.
Yes.
We have our own money. We have the ability to make the money. That's women empowerment. That's okay. That's good. We are looking at this critically now. How is it a good thing or a bad thing to be empowered as a woman? How has this helped? You know, we're in a patriarchal society whereby some men do not want their women to be empowered because they want to have the control.
Yeah.
So how do women respond to this?
Well, yeah, like I would say, that's a kind of a two-way thing,
Okay.
and it has its positive and negative situation that most women found themselves. And in that case, if you're able to, you know, the positive way is that it helps you to, you know, to have your own money and do so many things by yourself. But the negative part is that your spouse or the man basically don't see that as a good thing, because it's like as if you're you're tramping down on their ego, and that's not comfortable with them. They don't feel comfortable with that. And then when a man's ego is being, you know, tampered with, it's not a good thing at the end of the day in the house. So that gives a lot of problem, and that's the negative side. Yeah, but the positives are, like I said, it helps the family, it helps the family to grow and be financially stable, and then they can afford to take care of themselves, their children, even their siblings and all that, and even still have savings for their future.
Now, an empowered woman, Is an empowered woman arrogant? Is she disobedient? Is she submissive? Is she, you know, is she good? Is she bad? If she's empowered, does it make her to be arrogant? You know, we all are familiar with the word, you have to be submissive to the husband and all of that.
Yes, though it's a difficult situation for you to find a woman empowered, not having that kind of, you know, raising up your shoulder and all that. But hey, if we can actually, you know, give ourselves some senses, and you love your marriage and your children, you should be able to find a balance between, you know, that circle, so that you don't have problems in your home. Even though you're the boss in the office, or you're any more than your husband, or you have much money more than him, it doesn't mean a woman should raise a shoulder. But sometimes the inhuman or woman feminism thing makes them to be portrayed as being proud, having pride, not being submissive. Because at that point you're on top. It looks like you're on top, and it has a lot of, you know, issues that comes with it alongside.
But you know, the patriarchal society has a role, a huge role to play as far as we are concerned with this being empowered as a woman. Women are coming from a very disadvantaged position, educationally, career-wise, and everything. So I don't necessarily, you know, want to play the feminism card right now. I just want us to understand how, you know, can they use the empowerment to their own advantage, you know, especially in the unit of being in a family where you have a man who says, do not work, stay at home. You have a man who says, because you earn more than I do, so you should quit the job. You can't earn, I'm the head of the family. You can't become the financial head of the family, in quote. How do women, you know, treat?
You know, the society is been so bad that, you know, it has affected families in so many ways, and there has been issues, divorce, and people are not finding the balance at the moment in such situation. But most times that if you find yourself in such situation that maybe your husband doesn't want you, you know, to work anymore, there should be some form of balance of communication, so that both of you can be on the same page. You can, like, from what time to what time, if there are cases where you have the children, you can think about that okay, if I have to leave my job, your job, can it sustain us for the next 10 years while these children are growing up? If it can, that's okay. But if it can't, then there should be a balance of where and how to knot it out and discuss it.
Okay, but let us look at it from this context now. We are talking about a woman, a grown woman. And I believe we're talking about a married woman, because empowerment, mainly, when we talk about women empowerment, we are looking at it mainly from the married woman's perspective. We have stories of women who were once single. They were doing so well in their career. They had gotten to the heights of the career, the apex. And then they got married, and suddenly, not one, not two, we have thousands of women in that situation right now. And suddenly they can't find their feet. They don't have the ability to make decisions for themselves. They have been told by their parents and whoever that you must obey your husband. They call it being submissive. You know, and when they talk to the man that I want to do this, the man says, no, you can't do this. Now, let's talk about those women. How do you think they can fight this challenge?
When you're in marriage, it's two people, not just you anymore. And if you're in marriage, you have to understand the fact that this person is the person I want to spend the rest of my life with. And by so doing, you have to come together as one in communication, in everything. And if you're not in good terms, in terms of having good communication together, to have a balance and strike a balance in the middle, you're definitely going to have, you know, friction. If you are, you know, you've attained this high level of office, and you got married, and it's definitely going to be a friction. But a woman has to find a way to balance it. You have to find a way to balance it, especially if such a woman have an understanding man, okay, but so to say, it's all going to be boiled down on submission.
Okay.
You will have to submit in order to make the marriage work. If not, bringing in the office thing with a home, you're a boss in the office and you're being asked to be to be submissive at home, is a two-way thing. And
okay, what about a situation now where the man says, I want you to stop working because I don't like the bank job, or I don't like the fact that you stay in your business from morning till 9. Nobody serves me food when I come back. I don't have the needed attention I need. I want us to understand what it is to be empowered as a woman. Does this mean the woman is being disempowered by being stopped from making her decisions and meeting her goals?
Well, sometimes it looks like that. In fact, I think that is it. Because if you're being asked to leave what you're used to, what you're perfect, and you love doing it, and then all of a sudden you're being asked to leave such thing, it's going to kind of demoralize the kind of, your power of being the kind of person you've been, and it's going to, some even went to depression and so many other things come alongside with such situation. But as it is, if you've made the choice that you want to marry, that you want to get married and you're in a marriage, you've got to give it what it takes to make it work. If your man said, okay, you have to leave the job and all that, fortunately, or there are marriage seminars and all that you will have been able to discuss all this before the marriage. So if you're going to leave, you will have known that. But if it's just a sudden thing that it happens and the man was like, okay, you should leave, definitely it's going to be a big one. It's a big issue. But at that point, you have to choose if it's your marriage or it's your, or it's your corporate world.
Okay.
Is it difficult
but
choice?
there are other scenarios. I just want women out there and men out there, I want the viewers to understand the perception about empowerment, and I want them to really know there are other scenarios. There's a scenario whereby the man earns less, the woman earns more, and he gets envious and jealous and wants her to stop. Is that being disempowered as well as a woman? Exactly,
it is. And in cases like that, and which I've seen, the divorce will definitely be the case, because such a woman will not want, to drop. And especially when she knows that she's actually earning more. And then because of the man's ego, which is what we have in Africa, that has actually been affecting the men here. And it's something that they can, they can't leave. They have to have that, okay, I'm the head of the house, you have to listen to me, you have to obey me, and it's whatever I say, and that is the end, and that is it. So if men can actually understand that, no, it doesn't really matter, as long as she can cope to still do what she is able to do, and the family is happy. And then there is understanding and communication. They are both on the same page. They know that, okay, maybe we should do this for a particular time. And after a while, we can continue and see how it goes as well. So it's like I've been saying, it's based on both individual communication that one can have with a spouse. It has to be a communal agreement. If there is no agreement, there's going to be war.
So is empowerment, women empowerment, seen as a good thing or as a bad thing?
Both ways, 50-50.
Wow, 50-50, how?
It's 50-50. Yeah, it's a good thing.
Yes, because I think it's a good thing.
It is a good thing. But if you look at it in terms of marriage, where with all these cases of where the man doesn't want that, it will cause divorce, and the children and everything will go chaos. So that brings the negativity part of it. And a woman doesn't want that. You want to be with your family, with your children, with your husband. You want to go out and say, oh, that's my husband, and these are my children, and all that. And at the same time, you still want to be in the office and say, okay, you are the boss, you're doing this, and all that. So it's a 50-50 thing. It's good. It has its negative part, and it has the positive part. So that's how I would say.
Does being empowered as a woman make a woman disobedient and arrogant and rude?
At all, it doesn't. It shouldn't.
Okay.
But to the men, our still talking about this ego thing, they feel that automatically when a woman is economically empowered, you're free. Of course, it means freedom. We shouldn't deny that. It means freedom.
So empowerment, in your words, I've been
yes, it means freedom. Exactly.
Yeah.
And at that point, when you are free, that means you're not going to be controlled.
Yes.
You will see you'll be seen as uncontrollable.
So empowerment can be synonymous to uncontrollable in a patriarchal society, right?
Exactly. Yes.
Wow. So with women being empowered in the society, let's start from the upside, then we go from the upside. We have in the society, we have the status and we have the steps. We have those who are very up there from the elites. Then we have those in the middle class. I don't know if we still have a middle class in Nigeria, but we always have things like that. Then we have middle class, and then we have those down there. That's the illiterates and all. Let's start from the elites. Okay. I don't know if it's because of the Enlightenment, but they don't seem to have so much problem with the empowerment, But let's start with them anyways. Okay. Now, do their empowerment actually help the unit of the family? Does it help the finances in a family? Because I've heard things about, I will keep that for later anyways. Okay. So does it help the unit of the family?
Well, for those people of that cadre, I would want to say yes to some extent, because those people at that level and status, they've been able to achieve so much. Thereafter, they can afford to get a house help, get a driver, get everybody in place for them to make things easier. Okay. And at the end of the day, they don't really need to stress themselves. They can get, the maid to go to the market or for the nanny and every other thing. So they were able to, they can afford to pay for the luxury of still having their freedom.
Yeah,
I would call it that way. Yeah. So they can afford to pay for it. So it wasn't a struggling thing for them. So they will be able to scale through without any friction.
Okay.
Yes. So that's what I can say to those levels.
The average women in the society.
Yeah, the average woman in the society is actually finding we'll have this imbalance sort of. But for a smart woman, you can find a way to have your way. And if you can, there are lots of chances of stuff that you can do right now, that you can do so many things on part-time level. It doesn't have to be on if okay, you can get someone that can come in the morning or for 2-3 hours and just go, rather than employing a full-time person that you can pay at the end of the month. So if it's just per hour thing that you come, I just pay you like a pay-as-you-go thing. So for an average, woman that find herself on that level can still find a way to, rough and tumble the whole thing.
Okay, then for the poor in the society,
yes, those are actually the people that are actually going to face that a lot. Because I actually even had an example of a cousin's friend, and he called, and they had 3 children. And she's an hairdresser, and she has a lot of customers, and she's very good. And the customers are always calling her, come, do this. But most times the children are the one that are left behind. She wouldn't be able to feed the children until like 1 having breakfast. But this is someone that is still trying to meet up getting something to do. So she can afford to, get a nanny or anybody. So it's a difficult thing for them. They can't balance that. They can't balance that.
Okay.
They can't balance that.
Let me now go to what I was saving. We have situations whereby, you have a woman, she's working. Okay. She's earning good money. Okay. But the husband says, I don't see your money. We are not seeing this money in this house. Women love jewelries. Women love good things. We love luxury.
We love to take care of ourselves.
We love to take care of ourselves. Yeah. But what about the family as a unit? You can see a woman so beautifully dressed, and then her child is, not well dressed. The child looks like her house helps child. Then you can see her husband looking, or you could go to that scenario house in that scenario, and there's no food, things are not in place, but she's doing so well, she's earning so much. So how has the empowerment, can this empowerment be channeled? How has it helped the family? That is the concern. That's the crux of the question.
Yeah.
How can it help?
And I will still add that to part of the negative part of when you say a woman is empowered, because that's another bad part to some women that I have seen personally also, that they look so good, fantastic, and their children are like, oh my God, you couldn't match them with their children, with the way they look, with the expectation the supposed children supposed to look like, is definitely a two different way thing. And at that point, I will say that you know, as a woman, you shouldn't leave your children behind. Well, I love my children so much.
Okay.
I love to take care of children, maybe because I'm the only child, and I didn't have siblings, so when I have my children, they are like my siblings, so I have them to myself. So I love to take care of my children. So I always advise women to always try to balance it up.
How can they balance it up?
They can always, if you can afford to look good, try to extend that looking good to your children as well by paying for it. Get a nanny or an housemaid, or, you know, as you're shopping for yourself, you shop for your children. You just don't buy all the jewelries and all the gold. You try to find them balanced, and I mean looking good as well, because if they are not looking good and they are not healthy, it's going to bounce back at you, and the society will not that respect you. To me, I don't respect the people.
Yeah.
You know, a woman that doesn't take care of their children.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't respect such people, because it means you are not practicing what you're preaching.
Well, they are not preaching it. They're just looking good.
Looking good. You're preaching it to me that it's good to look good by looking good. Yeah. So you're preaching goodness, fashion, sweetness, and looking good. You know. Yeah. Things nice. So it should be able to extend to your children as well. And when I see you, and I was able to look at it, I was like, oh no question.
Okay, but I'm still going to hit on this point.
Yeah.
How can empowerment help the financial situation of a family as a whole? You know, there are some backgrounds that the man doesn't even want the woman to work. They don't want the woman to do, it's not just corporate work. You also have businesses.
I get that. You see,
you said that salon you keep going to every day, just stay home and look. So how, and then this woman makes a lot of money from her salon. She's not telling the man. She's not helping the family because the man has condemned the act. So how can women channel you said negative, positive. How can they make empowerment a positive thing to help the family?
You see, in this kind of economy and era that we have now, the men should understand that sometimes things doesn't go the way it should be sometimes. You may be earning so much now, and something just happened, you're being sacked in the office, and what happened at home? Oh, okay, what would the wife be doing? Or what would be the situation of the children for their school fees and everything? So if a woman is empowered, it helps a lot, in a long way, that it will give that space for family to always have a balance, not finding themselves wanting or be in lack or easily go into poverty situation. So if a woman is empowered, at the end of the day, if anything happens, peradventure, anything, suddenly, that the husband couldn't, take care of, the woman is there to assist. We are actually there for the man to assist, not in just giving birth and all that. We are there to assist our spouse in one way or the other. They couldn't go on, they couldn't, complete. We're supposed to complete them.
Okay.
Yeah.
But some women are firmly of the opinion that their money belongs to them. The man's money belongs to us. Yes. The first time I heard that, I was shocked. Because then I wasn't married when I heard that. So I was really shocked by that
So
statement.
now that you're married, how do you feel about that?
Well, it's not about how I feel. It's about how the other women out there feel. Because some women don't like a situation whereby they come back and they are told to pay school fees. Empowerment is making decisions for yourself. Empowerment means I use my money to do what I want to do. Yes, but when I'm being controlled, I'm no longer empowered. I'm being disempowered. To
contribute to the children's school fees.
No. They can ask to contribute, but it depends on your answer. If you say yes or no, I think it should be respected.
Yes.
But when I'm being controlled now, I'm not saying act. I'm being mandated that look. Mommy Tayo, darling Vicky,
Yeah.
this 100,000 you made from this profit of 100,000 you made from your
You
business.
have to drop 50,000.
Not you have to. The 100,000 we're channeling all into paying Ayo school fees.
Wow.
You know. Then the 50,000, okay, then maybe with subsequent business, you could, you know, whatever,
Yes.
feed the house with that while
Yeah.
I'm building the village, the house in
house.
the village, so that we can move from the rented apartment.
And you-
So yeah, so that's where I'm coming from.
You see, it all still boils down on communication.
Okay.
Spouse should be able to come together with an agreement of what they need to do
Okay.
in a year
Okay.
or per quarter and all that.
Okay.
If there is no agreement, there's going to be problem.
But we have patriarchal societal structure in place where a man, you said men have ego,
Yes.
yes, and where a man says, a woman tries to tell the husband, okay, let's do A, B, C, maybe because apart from being economically empowered, she's
Yeah.
also intellectually empowered, so she kind of knows more than he does. But because of the pride and ego thing, he's not taking these things. He's like, no, I'm the man. How dare you tell me what we should do? You know, and then he leads them into disaster, in quote, you know.
Yes.
So
That could be dangerous and difficult.
Yeah.
But in such situation, if you find yourself to, if a woman should be, you know, find herself in such situation, you can talk to your pastor or talk to, you know, somebody that you know that can
Okay.
actually talk to him
Okay.
for him to have better knowledge and understanding
Okay.
of what you're trying to pass to him, so that you know it doesn't lead the whole family, you know, in a bad situation, and they will all come back to face the consequences after. So
Okay.
if a woman can find a way, or the manner and the method, you know, maybe during that time you're having some jolly time, you know, sweetheart, it's not like that. You see, what I'm trying to say that time is that. Okay, you're like, okay. So by the time you were able to soothe him to talk to him in a more loving way, you will understand that you're not trying to do your own thing, that you're not trying to persuade him to take your own decision, but rather you're just trying to let him know that, okay, we could do it better this way rather than this way.
Okay.
So a woman should always find a way to balance everything. God has given us that gift,
Okay.
if we can actually use them.
okay,
Yes.
okay, that's refreshing.
Yes,
But
yes.
this mentality of my money
Yeah.
and his money is our
Yeah.
money, my money is my money. What do you have to say on that?
Of course,
when it
my
comes
money
to-
is my money.
Wow. So you have reaffirmed.
Oh yes, yes,
Okay.
yes. My money is my money.
Okay.
My money will only come to use in the place where his money is not available to me.
So how is the empowerment going to help the family financially in
Like
this
I
place?
said, you see,
Okay.
it's just a term, like I was saying, because you
Okay.
see, when a man gives a woman, okay, take this 100,000 and buy this for the children for shopping and everything. Sometimes we spend more.
Good. I wanted. Okay, I'm listening.
Do you
This
understand?
is
So we
interesting.
spend more. So
Okay.
out of that more that you're spending is actually from your pocket.
Okay.
So, but it's okay. He has given you, you know, some amount of money to do that. So
Okay.
if you had it like about another 20,000 to the 100,000 naira, that's okay, and that's
Okay.
not a bad thing. At least it's still for the children.
So it's
For-
is it going to empower is it going to economically help and financially create stability in the family?
Yes.
Create a financial stability in the family.
Definitely, it will,
Okay.
because sometimes men don't like women asking, and are like, oh,
right.
can't you? I mean, I gave you 100,000. I mean, how much is remaining? Just 5,000, 10,000. You can't find too hard to read. So sometimes it makes them feel
Okay.
uncomfortable, like you are
Okay.
not the supposed helper you are supposed to be.
Okay, you're not
So-
enabling.
Exactly. So
Okay.
for that part, it's okay and it's good.
Okay, before we round up, just
Yes.
one sentence for women out there who are already empowered. How can one encouraging or inspiring sentence to help the family to help? What do you have to say on that? You
Well,
know?
like I always say, I will say it that women, thou art blessed.
Okay,
You have the yam, you have the knife.
okay,
Kindly cut it appropriately
okay,
to suit you
Okay.
and your family.
okay.
That looks like a parable. I don't
Yeah,
know.
well, I think they should understand it,
Exactly.
except you want to explain
Exactly.
it. But
It's a deep
understandable.
meaning.
Yes.
It's a deep meaning, because if you, as the woman, you have the total control, even of the supposed man that felt is in control. A woman is actually in control.
Okay, I don't think they would like to hear that.
They would like to hear that.
Let's round up here.
But
Thank
it's
you so
okay.
much for
You're
coming on the
welcome.
program.
You're
It was
welcome.
nice to have you.
Nice meeting you
Thank you
also,
so
Vic.
much.
Thank you.
Well, viewers, you've heard it all. So women who are economically empowered out there should always keep a portion for financial family stability. Help the family, not just yourself. Your money might be your money, but your money can be used for the good of your family, your children, and your husband inclusive. Thank you for watching. I am your host, Flora Ngo Martins.